Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I debated on whether or not to even make this video because it is something that is very personal to me, but I decided to go ahead and make it in case there's somebody out there that may benefit from this in some way if somebody's going through like a similar situation or something like that. Aubrey's biological father and I dated for about 5 or 6 years before I got pregnant. We had actually broken up and we were in the process of like trying to work things out when I got pregnant. When he found out, he didn't really take it very well. He basically said that he didn't want a child and that I was like, I could do whatever I wanted to do, but I was on my own. So I said, okay, and just went on. I kept it from my family for a while because I was just, I don't know, I was kind of like embarrassed and I didn't really want to tell them. And I had a lot of like sickness with it. I had a lot of morning sickness, so I was throwing up a lot. I was sick all the time, and my sister was like, "What is going on with you? Like something's wrong? Like, are you sick?" So I finally just had to tell everyone that I was pregnant, and everyone took it really well. My family was super supportive of me, so that was definitely helpful to have them. But I still felt alone, like having to do this by myself without like someone else there was definitely difficult. I remember one time in particular when I was at a doctor's visit. Most of the visits I went to by myself. There were a few where like some family members went with me, but most of them I was just by myself. And I remember this one time just like looking at the waiting room, and everyone in there was with their significant other except me, and I was just by myself. And like I've never felt more alone in my life. And I'm very thankful and glad that I have my family to support me, but it's just different when you don't have like a partner to go through everything with you, especially when it's for the first time. Whenever I was getting ready to have Aubrey, I didn't tell him. I let him know after she was born. I had some complications and he did like call and check on us. He didn't come to the hospital. I didn't ask him to and he didn't offer to. I didn't put his name on the birth certificate. I gave her my last name. After she was born, we tried a little bit to like work things out, but it just didn't work. Our relationship was never going to work. And it was hard for me to accept for a long time because my parents are divorced. So growing up, I always wanted to have a family where my children had their parents together and in the same home. So I tried for a long time to make it work with him just because of that. I didn't want her to have, I wanted her to grow up with two parents. I didn't want her to have her parents split up. And I pretty much knew the only way he was going to be in her life was if we were together. So I tried to make it work because of that, but in the end I realized that I mean, you can't force somebody to want to be there. You can't force someone to be a father to their child. It's never going to work. And it took me a long time to accept that and get over that. I also thought that I was never going to find anyone. I didn't think anyone would want to be with me, and that I didn't think anyone would accept my child and be good to her. And so I thought it was either I had to make it work with him or I would just be alone. That's really what I thought for a long time. And I finally just had to get to the point where I just accepted that it was just better for me to be on my own and be the best mother that I could be to her. So I finally got to that point and I was okay with that and happy with that. A lot of people have asked me if he pays child support, and the answer is no. We never actually had a DNA test. I didn't feel the need to have a DNA test because I hadn't been with anyone for like months and months prior to that. So I knew that there was no possible way that it could be anybody else's child. And I did talk to him one time about possibly getting child support. And he told me that if I made him pay child support, he would try to get joint custody of her. And honestly, that really just like terrified me, because to me, like, I wouldn't have cared to let him have a visitation or let him see her, but if he was only trying to see her whenever I said that I wanted child support. So to me, that means you're just doing it out of spite and you really don't want to be there. So I didn't think that he would be good to her. I didn't think that he would take good care of her and watch her. And I would have worried myself to death the entire time that she was gone about what was happening. Was she, being treated right? Like, was she being taken care of? So ultimately, I decided to not go through with it. I mean, it might have just been threats, but even so, like, I want Aubrey to be in a place where she is loved and taken care of, and I know she's around people that actually love her and want her to be there. And to me, like, there's no amount of money that he could give me that was worth that. So I'm actually glad that I decided not to go through with it, because now, like, she is mine. Like, I see her every day. I have her for every holiday. I do everything with her, and I'm glad that I have her for that. And also, I think that it's probably better for her in the long run as well, because she doesn't have to be let down and disappointed by him. It's really bad to like bail on plans and not show up. He's very unreliable. So I'm just glad that she doesn't have to be disappointed by that. Like, she never has to know what that's like. So about a month after I decided that I was just going to be single, focus on me and Aubrey, I actually met Justin. And it's kind of funny because I took Aubrey on our first date. And I know that's kind of weird. It wasn't really intended to be that way, but I mean, I was a single mom. I was working. I didn't really have a lot of like free time, and almost all my free time was taken up by Aubrey. I was supposed to see him, but then I ended up not having anyone to watch her. So I was basically like, I don't want to bail, but I have her with me. Like I said, okay, if she comes, because I just thought, like, this is my life. Like, Aubrey's the most important part of my life. So anyone that I date is just going to have to accept that anyway, and he might as well know what he's getting into up front. So he said that it was okay, and things went well, and he's been in her life ever since. He is great with Aubrey. He helps me so much with her. He plays with her all the time. Aubrey absolutely loves him, and it's great. I couldn't have asked for anything better. We got engaged last year, and we actually just got married a couple of months ago. So things are going great, and we're really happy. And yeah. So I just wanted to share my story with anyone that is going through this, or maybe has like a similar situation. I know how difficult it can be, but it can and it will get better. It was very hard for me at the time, going through my pregnancy and then being a single mom. It was rough, but don't get stuck in that mindset like that you'll never find anyone or that you'll be alone forever, because there's plenty of people out there. I mean, I thought the same thing, but I found someone that is great to me and great to my child, and you can too. So I just wanted to share my story with everyone. And if anyone has any questions or needs like advice or anything like that, please feel free to comment and reach out to me. I'm pretty open about my experience. If you want to know more, just let me know. And thank you so much for watching.